Well, good morning. We are live and shit on this. Very gloomy, rainy October 28th day. I look outside and I'm like, can we just roll back to margarita time? Woo! Hold on one second. Missy. Good morning, Brooks. I posted some events happening in Oklahoma. A missing woman from Grove is thought to be in Tulsa. Please share it. Send it to me. Send it to me, Missy. I have not heard about this on KOTV, CLL72020 @gmail.com. Yeah, send over what you know and we'll do a show for sure. Leanne Taylor and them, they're getting real goddamn lazy over there on that KOTV. And don't get me going on Aaron Chrissy on KJRH. I mean, I love my local channels. I don't like cable news. I don't like cable news. I watch my local news. And when they can't even talk about a missing woman out of Grove, Oklahoma. No good. No bueno. Good morning, Poppy Red Mustang. Missy's got all the goods. Missy, do you work for KOTV? How do you know this information? Coweta Schools? Girl, we got to talk. Good morning, Teresa. V. Oakley said nasty, gross, wet, cloudy, Florida. Ooh. Good morning, Plead the Fifth. Ashley, good morning. She said, good morning, y'all beautiful people. Woo! I almost have no energy today. It is outside. That's all I could say to Ange about it today. I said, it's just outside. Brown leaves everywhere. It's just overcast and raining. OMG. So how's your weather doing, family by choice? Teresa said it's sunny and chilly in Wisconsin. Yeah, it's like 60 degrees here right now. And please don't tell anyone my secret. Please don't. But I have on socks. If you are from the Wisconsin area, my husband got it for me. Got the socks for me at the Quick Trip. KWIKTRIP. And they are warm socks. And they're thin so my feet can breathe. Yes. Exactly. Trigger warning. I have on socks. Anyone from the Wisconsin area that can tell us about the cheese curds and the socks from the Quick Trip? Teresa said Quick Trip is awesome. We have Quick Trips here too, but it's Q. How do they do it? QUIK and then Trip. Okay. Quick Trip socks are awesome. Tell you what, play your cards right and maybe y'all will get a pair in the mail. Never know. Before we get to telling everyone hi, I want to say happy birthday to our amazing friend, Just Me. Her son had surgery yesterday and came out on the other side with no cancer, and today's his birthday. Can everyone please say happy birthday to Susan's son? And look at that. Debbie 1220, I guess I don't have very good readers on. Just became a new YouTube member. That's how we do it around here. Over the weekend, we will be changing the badges to Turkey Day. Broken Golf Doll understands my talent. Cat OG doesn't. Hey, at Crime Lines and Lies, your piano playing gets better and better. I practice a lot, Broken Golf Doll. I do. I practice all the time. You have no idea what I'm talking about. But I mean, I practice in my head and in the shower all the time. But big day, big day. I know that we all stressed and prayed for our friend Susan. And you know what? God is good. God is good. He is. Poppy Red Mustang, member for 11 months, said, I'm new, but loving it. Girl, you're not that new. Angel on Earth, who Andrew Hilt seems to think has a crush on him. The last time I heard that is when Kat chewed his ass on panel, and he called me right after and told me that he thought that that British girl wanted to get in his pants. But now he thinks Angel on Earth has a crush on him. I'm like, did you not hear her yelling at your ass? My goodness. My goodness. Teresa's finding it funny. Look at this. Joanne Lane is loving it. Plead the Fifth is like, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Angel on Earth said, what? Happily married. Well, you know, and I have a feeling... Actually, I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole because I'm going to get called out for body shaming. Nufflin, family by choice, member for 29 months. How you doing, Sexpot? Anna said she damn sure was giving it to him. I think he's trying to imagine Angel on Earth with a strap on. I'm telling you, we know he gets kinky like that. Woo, woo. Woo, one thing after another. Tell you what, never a dull moment over here on CLL. Let's take a moment and tell everybody good morning. Happy Taco Tuesday. Well, I'm so glad everyone's here. Look at that. Taz is right here. Taz, did you hear that Andrew Hiltz thinks an Angel on Earth wants to get on his pogo stick? Now, she's going to be extra pissed when he comes into chat. And I'm going to be popping the popcorn. I'm going to mute myself and let him go at it. It was like WWE in there. I was like, woo. Broken Golf Doll would sooner be miserably single than get with Andrew Hiltz. Mallory said that's sick. Yeah. Anna said she wanted to bust his ass. Well, that's how he took it, but that's not the ass she was busting. Okay? Debbie said that's his love language. Well, he's never been in love with me. Only Angel on Earth and Cat. What to do? Okay. Who has seen the show The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix? Show of hands, show of hands, show of hands. It's actually, I believe you can watch it on YouTube as well. You probably have to pay for it. It's probably cheaper on the Netflix. Ilyonka has not. V, Miss K, me. Angel P, me. Stacy, by the way, I just got your email. I very rarely get in that account, and I feel like a horrible friend. V has seen it. Okay, I'm going to open up the panel because I want to hear what you think of it. I especially want to hear from True Crime Beat, who doesn't live that far from Ocala, Florida. Okay? If I was in an ornery mood, I would say that True Crime Beat is related to people in the case, but I'm not in that ornery of a mood today. And recently, I've only been doing things like that to Angel P. So we'll just keep it that way for a little bit. All right. So before we start throwing out words like racist and stand your ground, let's look at both sides because there's an appeal coming up. Okay? There's an appeal coming up, and there's going to be evidence introduced that wasn't in the first show. I have kids that play in my neighborhood. I'm very forthright with them. I've never had to call the police. And what I always say, just like, when they wanted to do a bicycle ramp in our driveway and then put it across in the other driveway, I was like, no. Between DT driver and our homeowner's insurance, they would not like that. Okay? But remember, any way you flip a pancake, there's two sides. And I'm not going to be surprised when this appeal comes down if she doesn't get off. Okay? Now, when people throw around, and what your opinion is your opinion, okay? Your opinion is your opinion. I'm just trying to stay like right in the middle, okay? Right in the middle. And say, before we start throwing out words like racist, know the backstory. For one, her best friend is Black. She was married to a man who's Middle Eastern. Her nephew is adopted. He's Black. I'm not getting the racist things, and everything in this documentary is based on body cam footage. Good morning to Boston moms, but you make your own opinion and tell me what you think is going to happen with the appellate court. By the way, doesn't matter to me. I don't live in Ocala, Florida. I don't live there.
911 status of the emergency.
Are you having problems with the neighbor's children?
Hello, Sheriff's Office. Were any of you guys ever here messing with this lady?
No, we were playing football.
Sheriff's Office.
I called because the kids from across the street, they shouldn't be screaming and running around.
Okay.
All the kids like to play. Sharon said they can't walk or even throw their football over there.
911 was the address of the emergency.
Several kids out there right now are screaming, yelling.
9 times out of 10, that lady over there probably called.
Oh, I know.
It's like the kids.
She thinks we're trying to steal her truck.
You even know how to drive?
It clearly says no trespassing, and they're always walking the road.
There doesn't need to be a call for service every time the kids are playing in the yard.
She's always messing with people's kids.
Sheriff's Office!
1 minute!
That's me when the Jehovah's Witnesses come to the door. 1 minute! 1 minute! This is called police that didn't do, in my opinion, their due diligence, okay? They knew this situation was escalating. They knew the ding-dong ditch was going on. They knew that the burning bags of shit on her door were going on. They knew that they were writing things on her door. They knew that the no trespassing signs were up. One officer even said, well, she's just going to have to get used to it. You know, she lives around a bunch of kids. So be it. Now, mind you, she is a bitter, bitter woman. She's 58 years old. In my opinion, that's young. Okay. But this went on for 16 months. And it was a powder keg. It was a powder keg that erupted. And their job is to keep peace through the entire neighborhood, but it's also up to the adults. Okay? I have a huge issue with my neighbor Frank. Huge. Okay? I will never address him again. Okay? Never. I was on the phone with Shannon when all that shit went down. Remember Shannon? When Frank tried to beat my ass?
911, what is the address emergency?
My neighbor has been screaming outside.
She started banging on her door.
Pounding on it. Let me in. And then bang.
Okay, oh, I'm quiet. I don't bug anybody.
Come outside with your hands up!
I've barely ever seen it. I'm like the perfect neighbor.
All right, Linda. I'm not Linda. I mean, Susan. Okay. It is wild. It is wild. And I remember when it popped up and I was like, what? She shot this woman through the door and she killed her through the door? Okay. Her defense was stand your ground. It's a law in most states. You have a right to defend yourself. Okay? It didn't work in this case for many reasons. And we're going to get to that in a minute. I don't know what's going to happen in the appellate court. Again, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm just here to have a conversation.
After days of controversy and protests,
By the way, this is a totally different case.
Jefferson Parish Sheriff Newell Norman announced Ronald Gasser's arrest Tuesday.
In this state, whether we like it or not, we have a very forward-leaning, stand your ground, self-defense, justifiable homicide laws, however you want to refer to it, that is very much in an affirmative fashion that creates for us an obligation to make sure that we get it right.
And as we wait to learn if Ronald Gasser's attorney
Is it just me or does he look like Randy Travis? Is everyone looking at this guy? He looks like Randy Travis. Wow. That's crazy. That's weird. Wow. If I was doing clickbait like some people are good at, I would use this picture and say Randy Travis in jail for stand your ground. Digging up bones. I'm digging up bones. Exhuming things that's better left alone. I'm resurrecting memories of a love that's dead and gone. Yet tonight I'm sitting alone, digging up bones. Okay, back to it.
will try to use the stand your ground defense, we took a closer look at what the law says.
It's something that obviously makes it easier for a defendant to use the defense of justifiable homicide. A shooting in self-defense is justifiable homicide if the shooting is done with the reasonable belief that it is necessary in order to protect from great bodily harm or death.
Dane Cialino is a law professor at Loyola.
If you are in a place where you have a lawful right to be and you are not engaged in any unlawful activity, then retreat is not something that you need to consider before using defensive force.
He says the law dates back to 2006. Stand your ground does not differ from parish to parish.
Okay, this is in Louisiana, not Florida. So I'm asking you again, we're having a conversation. Who agrees with some states call it the castle law? Some states call it stand your ground. Normal people just call it self-defense. Do you agree with the law that you can defend yourself? Joy K said, I love it when Brooks sings. Well, okay, Just Me said she agrees with it. If you feel like your life's in danger, you have every right to defend yourself. Look at Rexy, capital Y-E-S. Joanne, yes. Okay. Hey, Johnny. Jenny said absolutely. Some states don't let you do it. Now, I'm going to tell you, well, I'm not going to put that out yet because I don't want to get myself in trouble. I'm too good at doing that. I need to shut my big pie hole.
The same statewide.
But it's certainly an important part of the defense, and you'll certainly hear stand your ground principles coming out of the mouths of the defense lawyers.
Okay, so we're going to go backward. We're going to go backward. First thing we're going to do is listen to the 911 call. Then we're going to go through the documents. Then we're going to go to an interview that she did like a month ago. Then we're going to talk about the appeal. And then I'm going to bring up the political side and the media side of tragedies. Not just this case, but a lot of cases. Okay? No offense, I'm going to pick on Angel P. Let's say Angel P tries to break in my house, and I've been fighting with Angel P for 16 months. I'll go ahead and throw that number out. And something bad happens to Angel P. The media is not going to say, white woman shoots white woman. No, 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 my friends. Mainstream media doesn't talk that way. Okay? Certain organizations are not going to come and protest on behalf of Angel P. They're just not going to. So as we go through this, again, you make up your own mind. Please do. First, we're going to listen to the 911 call. And remember, I have no dog in this hunt. No reason to send me a comment saying, Brooks, you're racist. Oh my God, Brooks. You know exactly what's going on, Brooks. You're so racist.
Thank you. Where do you work?
I work for a 911 operator at Marion County Sheriff's.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
3 years.
3 years? Let me direct your attention to June 2nd, 2023 at approximately 9:02 or so p.m. Was a phone call received by the 911 center regarding a shooting that happened at or near 1662 Southwest 107th Lane in Ocala?
Yes.
Did the caller, were you the call taker for that call?
Yes, sir.
Did the caller identify herself?
No.
To your knowledge, was law enforcement already en route to that location from a prior 911 call when you picked up this call?
I do not recall.
Okay, so this is the 911 operator. And by the way, Jinbug is not feeling well. She's not feeling well. So can we all send some internet hugs and chicken soup to our friend and my favorite cactus girl, Jinbug? Everyone. Okay, again, this is the 911 operator. Now, the police had already been dispatched over another issue that happened with one of the children. Okay? So they were already on the way. When AJ came, then things severely escalated. Okay? I'm just letting you know. To the point the lady in the duplex next called herself to get police over there because she was afraid something bad was going to happen. And we will get to that.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Showing us the marked State's Exhibit E for identification. Do you recognize that disc?
Yes, sir.
What is that disc?
It is my 911 recording for the call I took.
How do you recognize that disc?
Initials.
Have you listened to it?
Yes, sir.
Is it a fair and accurate copy of the recording of the 911 call that you took from this call?
Yes, sir.
This time, the State would move E into evidence next in line, Your Honor.
By the way, the 911 dispatcher did an amazing job. She did an amazing job. Annette said, now these poor children have no mother. That is the truth. When I heard that little boy said, my heart's broken. My heart is broken. And remember, opinions are welcome. I see both sides. I see both sides. But again, I am not a judge on the appellate court. Again, I have no skin in this game. We're having a conversation.
Any objection?
Subject to previous objections.
All right, State's E will be in evidence as State's number 5.
Have you also looked at a transcription of that call?
Yes, sir.
Showing us the marked State's Exhibit F as in Frank. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
How do you recognize it?
My initials are on it.
Have you listened to the 911 call while reading the transcripts to assure that the transcripts are accurate?
Yes, sir.
Are they accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, while they're humdrumming about the accuracy, Plead the Fifth said there's no reason to take someone out, though, in my opinion. I'm loving this conversation. I love how you guys are so open with your opinions and you're not offended by conversation. When is it okay? I'm just going to use the word okay because I live in Oklahoma. To take the law in your own hands or, defend yourself. You don't want to hurt anybody, but you're trying to protect yourself. When is that okay? When is that okay?
What was the letter designation of that?
That was F as in Frank.
Thank you.
With permission of the court, may I publish the 911 call along with the transcripts?
Any objection?
No, sir.
Without objection, you can publish the 911 call, and the transcript it can be given to the jury for demonstrative purposes.
The court can give me access again, please.
What's the address of the emergency?
1662 Southwest 157th Place. Oh my God, this lady just tried to break down my door. I shot through the door. Oh my God.
Okay, repeat that address for me to make sure I have it correct.
1662 Southwest 157th Place.
Okay, what is your name?
Lorincz.
Okay, take a deep breath for me. Calm down.
Oh my God.
You said someone tried to break down your door, is that correct?
Yes. Yes, the woman was screaming and yelling and she was trying to break down my door and she was...
Okay, it was a female?
Yes. I didn't know what to do. I grabbed my gun and I shot at the door. She was like, she was going to get me. Oh my God.
Okay, you said you shot at the door, is that correct?
Yes, I shot at the door because she wouldn't stop. I told her to get away and she wouldn't. She just begged and she begged.
Okay, where's your gun now?
It's in my bedroom. I didn't know what to do. I was panicking. This is the woman who attacked me.
Okay, do you still see the subject?
I don't know where she is. I'm still in my house. I didn't open my door to her.
Is it just only you in the home?
Yes, it's just me.
Okay, I just need you to lock all your doors and windows, okay?
I have.
Okay, I'm going to stay on the line until the deputies get there.
Okay. My son said they were going to come and kill me.
And did you know her?
Yes, she's come after me several times because of her children. Her children keep trespassing over here. They're bothering me and bothering me. They won't fucking stop.
Is she a neighbor?
Yes.
Do you know where she lives?
She lives at 1663 Southwest 107th Lane.
1663 Southwest 107th Lane, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know her name?
Age like always.
I'm sorry, what was the first name?
And that's fair enough. Broken Golf Doll said, I can't vote because it's different in the United Kingdom. Yeah, I totally understand that. I totally understand that. And it's different state to state here. Oh, Broken Golf Doll. Had to vote to get rid of the poll. LOL. Where's my poll?
Age like AJIKE.
Okay. Just let me know when you see the deputies. And like you said your gun is put up in the bedroom.
Yes,
is that
yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
And what unit number is for the subject?
I don't know. I don't know if she's one or two.
Okay.
She has an old broken down Honda or something, a white car in front of her house. It's all garbage.
You said a white Honda?
Yes. And then she has a new Acura.
Okay. You're doing good. Just take a deep breath for me. You do have deputies on the way, okay?
Okay.
And do you see the male subject or you just see the female?
See, her boys were here earlier. They keep leaving their garbage all around the house.
Okay.
And then I told them to take the crap away, get the fuck out of here.
Do you know where the boyfriend is now?
I'm sorry?
Do you know where the boyfriend is now?
No.
Okay.
I'm not screaming outside now.
And we do have deputies getting close, okay?
Okay, I think they're here now. I see the light.
Okay, if they're there, I'll go ahead and let you go.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Okay, that's the 911 call. Personally, I wouldn't shoot through my door because with my luck, it would ricochet off the door and get me in the fucking head. Okay, that's just how my luck runs. All right, but if I knew the police were on the way, I would call to let them know there's people outside my door. There's people outside my door because it wasn't just AJ. And AJ had every right to go to her door. Now, she didn't have a right to say, I'm going to fucking kill you. But she had every right to go and confront a woman that has been having problems with her 4 children. Okay? Every right. How many of you have had to ever confront a parent of one of your children's friends, a coach, a family member, someone at church, a principal, a teacher, a neighbor? Of course you're going to stand up for your kids, but they're going to know when they get home, you never go near that house again. You never go near that house again. I better never see you anywhere near that house, or you're going to get 10 times worse from me. Don't even think about it. How many of you have rolled into school knowing you're there to talk about something you knew shit that you knew your kid did, and you're defending your kid, and then you jump in the car and you're like, all right, buddy. Now, no one's going to talk to you that way, but you never do this again. Ever, ever, ever. I think we've all been there. And I'm telling you right now, AJ had every right to knock on her door. Okay? Knock on her door to ask her what in the hell is going on. To bang on the door and scream, come out, I'm gonna fucking kill you. That's a different story. Now, I have a question for old Susie Q. This had been going on for 16 months, and she wasn't the only neighbor upset. Okay? She wasn't the only one. She wasn't the only one that was upset with a certain group of children. Okay? She wasn't the only one, but we're not talking about them because they're not in jail. At what point did they not decide just to have a neighborhood meeting and everyone sit down, the adults, to say, now it's time that the kids be kids, but don't mess with anyone's property. Nobody wants anything burning on their front porch. Some people work from home. The ding-dong ditch is not cool. Putting things in mailboxes is not cool. I think this could have been de-escalated if the police would have had a neighborhood meeting with all the adults. Okay? And of course, the reason that the film is based only around Susan is because, well, I mean, she's the one in jail.
Documents in Susan Lorintz's case. She's the woman accused of shooting and killing A.J. Owens last month in Marion County. West 2's Michelle Meredith is going through those documents, and Michelle, they include some of the statements that Lorincz made after the shooting.
Well, the documents show statements made by Lorincz after the shooting, and they document a series of...
Man, that woman is pretty. I don't know how to pronounce her first name, but I almost said OJ. I did say OJ. AJ Owens was gorgeous. And she had her plate full, man. She's working and working and working and working, trying to raise her kids, dealing with this nonsense.
Confrontations between Lorincz, Owens, and her children. It reports, quote, she called 911 after the shooting and said a woman was screaming and trying to break down her door. So she fired at the door because she was afraid for her life. It goes on to say the victim had come after several times and her children trespassed and bothered her. She said she had problems with the children for several years and was upset they leave their belongings around her.
It's not several years, it was 16 months, and law enforcement was well aware. But the Wonder Bread boys in the Ocala Police Department are trying to be super cool with the kids. They're like, I'm on your side, so listen, I just don't want you to aggravate her anymore. And they're like, she can't call every time the kids do something to her property. They're like, yeah, but it's getting ridiculous. That's when they should have had a community meeting. Okay? All right? Have a community meeting.
Her apartment. They admitted calling the children derogatory names, filming or photographing the children, and raising her middle finger at the children in the past. Lorincz also said she researched Florida self-defense laws several years prior to the shooting and the day of her second interview. Lorincz fired a shot through her door, killing A.J. Owens. Public records show law enforcement responded to the apartment complex. Several calls were made by Lorincz. But in a follow-up interview, Lorincz told law enforcement she denied memory of using racial slurs at the children and said if she ever did it, it just slipped out. Lorincz also admitted that she researched Florida self-defense laws several years prior to the second day of her interview. Lorincz fired a shot through her door, killing A.J. Owens. Back to you, Sheldon.
All right, I'm going to put a new poll up real quick. All right, so 90% of you believe the stand your ground self-defense law is good. You believe that you have every right to defend yourself. I dig it. All right, now I'm going to put a new poll up. This one's going to be tricky. Okay, that one's going to be a little tricky. Two Boston Mom says, no, you don't just slip out the N-word. My friend Gina does, but she says she can because she's black. She calls me that name. And I'm like, what? If anyone saw the members live on Friday, you'll know I'm like a saltine cracker. I'm beyond white. My God. Find another racist term for me, Gina. Hang on, I'm going to call her. I really want her input on this. Anybody want to hear from Gina? Let me call her, all right? Hold on. Where's Gina? Oh, Gina. And no, I don't call anyone things like that. Except for Angel P. And I don't believe anything that just slips out except for when I say shit at church.
Hi, it's me, Gina. I'm real.
Okay. All right. She'll call back. All right. So this is her most recent interview.
The woman arrested, charged, and convicted in the shooting death of Ajika Owens in Ocala in 2023 describes the moments leading up to her pulling the trigger.
She's pounding and she's pounding and she's pounding, and I just, I was terrified.
Susan Lorincz, in her own words.
If anything could have possibly gone wrong, it went wrong.
From the public outcry calling for her arrest.
So unfair. So unfair. This is not fair.
I've made such a huge mistake. That's all I kept thinking is, oh my God.
To the reason she did not take the stand in her own defense.
Is Susan Lorincz capable of manslaughter?
No. And I'm so, it just makes me sick what happened. I just never ever thought in a million years this would happen. And it breaks my heart.
From the South Florida prison, where she is serving a 25-year sentence for manslaughter, the Susan Lorincz interview right now on TV 20.
Rexy is my English professor today. Ocala. Okay. Ocala. Geez, she lost a lot of weight in jail. Ocala.
She says she's sorry, but that does not change the outcome for Susan Lorincz, the woman she killed, Ajika Owens, a mother of 4.
Lorincz filed an appeal to her 25-year sentence, and we'll have more on that later. A dispute over Owens' children playing too close and too loud to Lorinc's home led Lorincz to shooting Owens through her front door. Lorincz was found guilty of manslaughter and was sentenced last November. She's serving her time at the Homestead Correctional Institution in South Florida.
And that's where TV 20's Robert Bradfield sat down with her to talk about her conviction, her apology to Ajika and her family, and what she would have told the jury if she had taken the stand in her defense.
TV 20 did reach out to Ajika's family about this interview, but they declined to comment.
Here's TV 20's Robert Bradfield one-on-one with Susan Lorincz.
I was given 1 hour to interview Susan. None of my questions were given to her in advance. Over this next half hour, you will hear directly from her about why she shot Ajika, the letter she's written to Ajika's children, and what she considers missteps in the investigation. I first want to start here. You were convicted of manslaughter.
Yes.
Sentenced to 25 years.
Yes.
You are 61 now.
Yes.
You might be in your mid-80s before you leave here, or you might not leave here at all. How have you reconciled that?
Day by day, and going to a lot of services, leaning on God, getting into the Word.
Talk to me about that. You attended a church in Ocala, is that right?
Yes.
And you also sang in the choir?
Yes.
So as someone of faith, how did you end?
Okay, we'll come back to that. Rexy said it just bugs me when cities here are mispronounced. Is it Ocala or Ocala? Because I had a friend that lived there with her husband Ronnie in an RV, and she always said Ocala. Is it Ocala or Ocala? Because I don't want anybody from that area to think, oh, True Crime Beat said he said it right. Well, thank you, True Crime Beat. Ocala is what V. Oakley said. Fuck it. I won't say the word again. I'm just going to say Florida.
End up here.
A very unfortunate series of events.
Take me back to June of 2023. What do you know specifically of that day?
I remember the kids screaming and yelling. I had a migraine headache. I was in my bedroom, shut everything down, closed curtains. Everything was dark. And when they finally left, I had to pack up a computer for my work to ship back to the home office. So I wanted to do that, and I didn't realize the children were still outside. There were the 3 boys, and they were very close to my sidewalk, and they had their skates around and stuff. I had fallen over a skate, and I said, guys, pick up your skates, and they were like, no. And I said, kids, pick up your skates and please leave. You're trespassing. You know you're trespassing. And the kid said, I'm going to kill you. If I can't kill you, I'm going to find someone to kill you. I had called the sheriff's department as soon as he threatened me. And I said, this is insane. This little kid is threatening me. And, you know, just the way he said it made me so uncomfortable. There had been a multitude of threats. Prior to that, the children said they would set me on fire. And they took one of the no trespassing signs, set it on fire, and then put it on my porch, and they said, you're next. So when he said this, I'm like, oh my God, you know, it takes a second. Squirt somebody with some lighter fluid, and they left the lighter fluid with the burnt sign. And I'm thinking, they're gonna set me on fire. So I went back into the house, and
Okay, we'll come back to that. Hold on. Angel P said, please remember to disguise certain keywords. I'm trying. Okay? I'm trying. I'm trying. And I feel bad for anyone named Karen because it's actually a really pretty name. I'm not really sure why it's an insult lately. I mean, why don't you just say bitch? I mean, that's the word that I use when someone's being that way. You know? Matter of fact, I have a very good friend named Karen with a C that lives outside of Amarillo. And I use the term with her, and she goes, me? 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 And she's like one of the coolest people you'll ever know. And I'm like, eek, I need to quit saying that. But hey, that's all right. I'm just going to use Susan's defense and say it just slipped out.
some lighter fluid, and they left the lighter fluid with the burnt sign. And I'm thinking, they're gonna set me on fire. So I went back into the house, and I called. The first phone call dropped, and I had to call them back again. And so I told them what had transpired it was a really horrible connection, and they just said, wait. So I locked the bottom lock, and I waited. Next thing I know, I had to go to the bathroom, so I quick went to the bathroom. I had put my phone down where I left the computer, and I forgot where I put the phone. Banging on the door. I thought, oh my goodness, the cops are here so quick. They must have been in the area. And I said, 1 minute. As soon as I said 1 minute, she went on a tirade, expletives and just horrible language, screaming at me, pounding on the door so hard. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you need to leave. You're trespassing. You were told not to come here by the sheriff's department. You know you're trespassing. You need to leave. And then she said, I'm going to effing kill you. And I went, oh my God. And she's pounding and she's pounding and she's pounding. And I just, I was terrified.
There was a lot made during trial and even when detectives were interviewing you about the loudness of the pounding. And you had said multiple times, I'm fearful of my life. You still contend that?
Oh God, yes. It just made me so, it gave me a panic attack, actually. She was pounding so hard. She had previously done this and had broken my door frame in December of 2022. So I was like, she broke the door frame once. She's going to end up coming through this door.
You then made...
Okay, I watched bits and pieces of the trial, and the lady that was on the other side of the duplex testified to the same thing. Okay? Testified to the exact same thing. Now, I don't know why in the documentary they didn't use her ADT footage. I just don't know why. I mean, that's just me. And 911 was already on the way. So that's a moot point. And that's where I have an issue with this. I mean, you know that you've already called him. You've already called him. get in the closet, get on the phone, and say someone is outside breaking down my door. I mean, do something. Get down, OJ.
Made, though, the conscious decision to go into your bedroom and grab the gun from your trash can?
Yes.
And you said you couldn't find your cell phone.
Exactly.
So take me back behind the decision then of you going into your bedroom, taking the gun out of the trash can, possibly knowing that you could use it, and you did. You shot once.
Yes, once. I was aiming for the top left corner of the door, and she pounded so hard that I could hear the frame crack, and it did. It splintered, the frame. And when she did that, I went like this, and I pulled the trigger. Because even in my questioning and the police report,
Does anyone know why the ADT footage wasn't allowed in trial and why the pictures of the door were not allowed in trial? I know she's telling the truth. You know why? Because JLR was there a few days after this happened. I don't know how the hell he pops up quicker than a damn Dollar General in a poor-ass county. It's just like out of the blue. There's JLR. He took pictures of it. You can see exactly where the bullet hole is, and you can see the frame of the door broke. Broken Golf Doll says, "Does JLR live in an RV?" I think he's more like George Jetson. He just shows up everywhere. He must have a Google alert set for everything.
he said, I don't remember firing the gun.
Coming up, Susan Lorincz addresses what she considers missteps in the investigation and the proof she says she has that Ajika Owens' children lied about what happened. Susan Lorincz says she was within weeks of moving to a new property when she shot and killed Ajika Owens in the summer of 2023. She talks about that in this portion of the interview, and she answers my question: is Susan Lorincz a racist?
I just know the gun went off, and I heard it. She said, ow. And I thought, oh crap, I hit her. And I thought, how in God's green earth did I, aim for that left corner and I hit her? I couldn't figure things out.
Was the upper left corner more of a warning shot?
Yes, absolutely.
So you did not intend to shoot her and hit her?
No, never.
Well, I believe you also testified or...
I don't think for a minute she was trying to kill her. No. 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 Not for a minute. She was getting ready to close on a house. She was getting ready to move. And when people say, well, she was renting, you can just up and move. Well, no, not if you have a lease. Not if you have a lease. Well, Carrie G, if you got a case you want to talk about, send it your old buddy Brooks's way.
Told detectives you did not go outside at that moment, but you called 911 again. Yes. And you said what?
I told them that I had hit her. I said she was pounding on my door, she was threatening to kill me, and I shot her. And I knew I shot her because she said, ow. And I thought I grazed her somehow. And I couldn't imagine where that shot went. I never even saw the shot. I was just so terrified. I remember I was shaking, I was crying, it was horrible.
Is Susan Lorincz capable of manslaughter?
No. And it just makes me sick what happened. I just never ever thought in a million years this would happen. And it breaks my heart. I don't know, I can't take it back. I can't replace her. I can't say, I did an apology to the family, and I'm still so sorry. And I know her kids are without a mom, and I know that it's been hard on her mom. I know everybody's hurting. I wish I could change things.
Some people have also asked, why not wait for the cops to arrive instead of shooting her?
Because when I called, when the kids said they would set me on fire, the Marion County Sheriff's Department never showed up. I ended up having to go there, show them the sign, show them the lighter fluid days later when I finally had a break in work. So I thought, they can come, they cannot come.
There might be people, though, that have noisy neighbors. You live on the bottom floor. You might hear the people above you. You might hear kids running down the hall as well. But is that enough to grab a gun from a bedroom?
No, that's not why I grabbed my gun. When she said, I'm going to kill you, I firmly believed she was going to kill me. That's why I grabbed the gun, because she had shouted that at me.
Did you ever consider leaving that neighborhood?
I had sold a horse, got a mortgage, and I was in the process of buying a small place. I wanted out. I didn't want to be there anymore. And it would have closed within a couple weeks.
Why should we listen to you now?
Because I have proof that the children lied. And again, when you're dealing with young children, you know that they're going to make mistakes. He told his mother I hit him. So I understand when she first came to that door and she was raging, I did not know what happened. I mean, to me, I thought she was having a psychotic break, or she was high on something, or she was just, I just thought, oh my God, what is going on here? When I found out he lied to his mom, I'm thinking, she came home from work, she was tired, all she wanted to do was put her feet up, and he tells her.
Now, I want you to understand, because remember, we're having a conversation, okay? I don't have no skin in this game, all right? 2 charges were dropped because it turned out the children did lie in their deposition. Now, look, they're kids. No one's going to hold it against them. Nothing like that, okay? No one needs to be getting on the Facebook and going beep, 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 boop, 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 and talking to the kids. I feel horrible for the children. Horrible for the children. I feel horrible for the grandmother. I feel horrible for everyone involved. But, you know, when 2 charges are dropped, it's because there wasn't sufficient evidence. And the sufficient evidence is that probably the ADT camera.
I hit him. When the prosecutor asked the child, where were you hit? He said, oh, she never hit me. That's in his testimony. And the prosecutor knew he dropped the charges for assault battery. Then the children lied about their location. He said he was right next to his mother when she was shot. He was 60 feet away at the mailboxes.
Do you think that there were any missteps in the investigation?
Oh, yes, many. I think once those children had said that it was a racial matter, they're like, oh my God, she's a racist. And that's just not true. I was married to a Middle Eastern man who was Muslim. My nephew is part black. I've had black friends since I was 5 years old. I grew up in Passaic, New Jersey, very, very diverse, demographic. And I have black friends here in jail, and I'm like, oh my God, it's not true. It's emphatically not true.
Susan Lorincz is not a racist.
No, sir. Not at all.
Still ahead, we ask Susan Lorincz about her decision not to take the stand in her defense, and if race played a part in her decision to fire her gun. Susan Lorincz says on advice from her attorney, she should not take the stand. She says she regrets that decision, and she explains what she would have told the jury.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's such a lose-lose situation. No one's won. No one. It's just, like I said, it was a horrific series of events, and just like if any.
It escalated. It escalated over 16 months. It escalated. And because a certain community, well, I shouldn't say community, that's the wrong thing to say. Because a certain organization got involved does not mean that there should be any political pressure to charge, overcharge, or anything. What's Rexy doing? She said, had to leave. Oh, Rexy said she's going to watch a trial. She said, for your information, Ocala is where a lot of the nation's top racehorses are born. Well, thank you, Rexy. Oh my goodness, what to do? Great info. I appreciate that a lot. Okay, back to what Chrissy said. She said, I think two things can be true at the same time. It wasn't self-defense, and the children did lie. They did. Okay? That was said in a press conference. That's the reason. Okay? So, manslaughter, I don't quite understand the statute in Florida for manslaughter, because in Oklahoma we have manslaughter and then involuntary, meaning you did something and it caused someone's death, but you didn't mean to do it. I don't think, I mean, unless she's Magnum PI, I don't think there's any way that she could have premeditated and shot through that door and killed her. No, I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. And again, I'm not celebrating old Susan Lorincz. I'm not. And I will say that the children needed to be parented. All of them needed to be parented. Okay? Our kids do not get to destroy people's property. They don't get to set things on fire. They don't get to write things on people's doors. But it shouldn't lead to this type of violence.
Anything could have possibly gone wrong. It went wrong.
If you had an opportunity to go back and you were reliving this moment in real time again, what would you do differently?
I was supposed to go out earlier in the evening, and I said, no, I really don't feel well. I would have left. It's tearing me apart. You know, I killed someone. You know, at the end of the day, she's not here anymore. Her kids don't get her. She missed all the events in their lives, you know, weddings, graduations, all that other stuff. And her kids are going to miss her.
Do you think there might be a time where you might want to sit down and write to them?
I have written to them. I've taken a restorative justice class. So we've been working on our letters.
Have you sent it to them?
I don't know if I can. So I would have to get information if I can send them.
Talk to me now also about the trial. Were you satisfied with your defense team?
No.
Why?
My attorney said I strongly...
Okay, before we get to this. Oh, Southern Shortcake said, I don't think it was race. No, if she was racist, she wouldn't have moved in that neighborhood. Okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. She would not have moved into that neighborhood. Okay? I believe it was a white mom, she would have been shot too. She knew everyone had enough. I can tell you this right now. If it was a white mom, we would never have heard of it. Prove me wrong. If AJ was white and Black Lives Matters wasn't involved in the whole process, then we would never have heard about it.
I recommend you do not testify. And had I testified, I could have told them when she broke the doors. And that was the one thing that the jury got hung up on.
Okay, we'll go back to that in a second. I got off track. But thank you, Chrissy, for that comment. So people are asking about the appeal. One, she is saying ineffective counsel. Okay? That's a very common thing for people to appeal for. Defense attorneys are used to it. They are so used to it. You know? Cross your T's, dot your I's, all the stuff. Also, not all the evidence was introduced at her trial, like the ADT camera, and the picture of the door frame and the police report from 2020, I think they said, 2021. I don't know. So that's her grounds for appeal. And we'll see what happens. I'll probably just do a post about it.
And I had 2 other witnesses who would have corroborated, we knew the door was broke, and they were never called.
And the door being broken, you contend what? That she could have easily gotten in?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Because the actual frame of the door was not solid.
You regret not taking the stand?
Yes.
Which then could have opened you up to cross-examination, but at the same time, you would have been able to tell your side of the story.
Exactly.
Have you had a discussion with the defense attorney regarding that decision?
It was very brief and terse.
Terse, what'd you say?
I told her it was reprehensible that she gave me the warning.
Was there a time during trial that you thought that you might be found guilty or not guilty?
I honestly did not know what was going to transpire.
I think it was at sentencing, after you had sat down, you had put your hands on the table and put your hands in your face. What were you thinking in that moment?
I've made such a huge mistake. That's all I kept thinking is, oh my God.
You also at sentencing talked about your past, including...
Okay, Debbie has a question. If she was racist, she wouldn't have moved into the neighborhood? ? Are all white neighborhoods common? That I can't answer because I don't know what neighborhood you're talking about, what state, what county, or whatever. I'm saying if she's that racist, she wouldn't have rented there knowing it was predominantly Black families and Latino families.
Surgeries, and if we can maybe discuss this about sexually being abused, do you think that played a part in who you are now?
Yes. The fear factor. She acted like my father, and it just triggered that. I felt like a child who was going to get beat, and my father was very brutal. I mean, he put me in the hospital, and it wasn't fun. And when the prosecution said, oh, you could have locked the door, my father kicked in more doors than I can count. And if we were under the bed, he would flip the beds over and grab us. So,
Susan, your daddy's got nothing to do with this, okay? You're an adult. You should have gotten therapy for that for a long time ago. I get real tired of this. Well, this happened to me, and so I get to do this bullshit. That is not a defense. Then kill your daddy. Go ahead, piss on his grave.
To me, there was no safe place.
Our viewers may be watching this saying, why are you giving her an opportunity to speak? And again, for that, you would say what?
Because I want the truth to come out. I just want people to know the truth, that I am not a racist, that I did not do this on purpose. This was not, a premeditated thing. I had no animosity for this woman.
You say no animosity, but police had been called to your place numerous times before. We have the body camera video too. There's got to be some animosity.
I try not to hold it against a person. I've made my fair share of mistakes, and I wouldn't want somebody to retain anger against me. Like I said, we all have bad days. Just get over it and move on, because if you hold on to that, your life's going to be miserable.
But some say you did not move on because you grabbed the gun. You had situations with her children before. Was this a lapse of judgment in your part by taking the gun?
I, honest to God, thought she was going to kill me. And it was fear. It was fear I feared for my own safety.
Do you think this case also revolved around race? And what do you say to those who say this was a white woman who shot a black woman?
I'm so very sorry. That's how it happened. I'm white, she's black. You cannot pick how you are born. You know, it is what it is. But it was not because she was a black woman. It's because she said, I'm going to kill you.
Coming up next, the status of Susan Lorinc's appeal as Ajika Owens' family focuses on a nonprofit to help families impacted by gun violence.
We're wrapping up Robert's Susan Lorincz interview, and we're joined by Robert now. Robert, you reached out to Ajika's family as well as the state attorney's office. What kind of response had they given you about this interview?
Well, I can tell you the state attorney's office did send us.
Okay, I put the link up. If anybody wants to grab it and come up. True Crime Beat, V. Oakley, Annette. I know y'all have a lot to say. Whoever wants to say it, grab the link. Grab the link. All right, News Nation has been all over this, and good for them. We're having quite a healthy conversation in here. Look at that. Angel P said, I disagree. We respect each other's opinions. There you go. I don't care if you dated Bozo the Clown. This isn't personal in here. This is not personal against each other. We're talking about a case. We're not talking about each other.
Of what my deputies dealt with my office having to deal with on a regular basis. But I think they did a good job. And probably the only thing I would have said is she was far from the perfect neighbor.
I would think so.
Now, this is the sheriff, okay? Looking a little John Wayne here. Look at this. Kat wants to know why everyone's talking about Muslims and Jesus. They were trying to get your attention, Kat. Did we get your attention? Did we get your attention? Okay, let's get Kat's attention. I love those sounds. It's a heated topic. That's all I can say. It's a heated topic. Okay? But we don't take things personal against each other in here.
What do you think of Susan Lawrence's, I think it might have been around 8 calls to the police over the course of 10 years. Did she have any right to make those calls, or were those calls that were what the rest of us would consider the "are you kidding me" calls? These are kids doing what kids do, playing football, not on her property. Was she completely outside of her right to make these complaint calls?
So any citizen has a right to make a call, but you're absolutely correct. These type things are petty. These are things that are frivolous. Here's the truth. They're kids, and that's all there was. It was kids. What kid, you don't want your kid inside the house playing on a video game. I think that's our biggest complaint. You want them outside playing in the yard, having fun, listening to a kid yelling and screaming. I think as parents, that's what we enjoy hearing, because they're enjoying life while they come before they become adults and have to deal with stuff like you and I do, Ashley. So her stuff, no, it didn't rise for us to be called every time, but I do have a burden of responsibility when a citizen calls and comes. And the stuff that she brought up, like the trespassing, they weren't trespassing, and it was very little in which we could truly do. Thankfully, my deputies did the right thing, and I think that's what the show shows how my deputies did the right thing each and every time, explaining to her.
Now, I'm going to disagree with that. I don't think his deputies did the right thing. Okay, everyone's supportive of everyone in this chat. Okay, just, I mean, not of me, and that's fine. And look at that. Nufflin just called Pat a hoe, and that's okay. You can call Pat a hoe all day. Look at that. That's okay. Pat? All right. We have every right to have a conversation. It's very easy. Scroll and roll. The deputies should have held the parents and Susie Q more accountable. They should have. They should have had a community meeting because this was a powder keg. So don't tell me that your deputies did everything right. Now, I don't know where Pat the hoe is, but I think she would agree.
No, they're perfectly fine. They're kids, and it's tragic.
You know, I know we don't live in a world of Minority Report. You can't stop criminals from committing crimes when they're just annoying people, and that is clearly what Ms. Lorincz was, an annoying complainant. They in fact called her that word I can't stand. I think it's so unfair, but they called her a Karen on the block. The only thing is, I noticed in some of the pictures we were running, there were signs saying Black Lives Matter, and this definitely had a racial component to it. A lot of people said, well, she should have been arrested right away, and it might have been because she was white that it was 4 days. There's more to it than that, though. There's the stand your ground law. But was that an inordinate amount of time, those 4 days, to establish that, okay, there's a stand your ground law, we need to investigate it, and ultimately decided, nah, this lady don't qualify, we got to haul her in? What's your read on that delay?
So as in the time, no, it wasn't long. Here's the fact, and you kind of hit the nail on the head a minute ago. You know, Florida has a great stand your ground law. Now, unfortunately, just like any law that's created, defense attorneys take advantage of them and twist them and turn them to the advantage of their defendants in a court case to get them off on certain things. But here's what people don't understand. Now, let me first start with the BLM. No, it had nothing to do with any racial. Now, I told it in the beginning, and I'll tell you again right here on camera here right now for you. Do I believe that Lorincz was probably racist? There's a very good possibility. Do I think it was racially motivated? Absolutely not. And some of my frustration is being pressured for something, because here's a case. Now, here's what everybody's got to understand. This is a very important case. This is where you do not want to make a mistake. You don't want your detectives, you don't want anybody to make something that they forgot to cross the T or dot the I.
Hold on. Tina G said, new to the channel, loving chat in Brooks. Woo! I am loving this. Hey, y'all, you take a second and you say hello to our new friend, Tina. And Tina, if you want to become a member, I promise somebody will drop the link. Everyone take a moment and welcome our new friend. You're going to want to be a member this week because we have our Halloween CLL Spooktacular on Friday morning. Welcome, Tina.
Some of my frustration is being pressured for something, because here's a case. Now, here's what everybody's got to understand. This is a very important case. This is where you do not want to make a mistake. You don't want your detectives, you don't want anybody to make something that they forgot to cross the T or dot the I that gets it thrown out in court. Now, when it comes to Florida's comes to Florida's stand your ground law, it got changed, and it's been changed a couple times over the years, but here's where it changed. It specifically says in there that the investigating law enforcement agency must first, before making any other charges, must first disprove stand your ground. The burden is on us and law enforcement, and we can be held accountable if we don't do that. So 4 days, absolutely not. What that means is my deputies meticulously took the time to analyze everything that was done, so that no defense attorney can say, well, that's stand your ground. We eliminated that. Now, in the beginning, was I confident that stand your ground didn't exist? Absolutely, I was confident. But we had to prove it.
Yeah.
And that's what got us over that hurdle.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, if you don't want to answer this, you don't have to. I'm certainly not putting a poll up, okay? Because YouTube would spank my ass. There's a couple of people in here that keep wanting to argue with each other, and it's taking away from the subject matter. So, let's just stop. Just take the high ground, okay? Just take the high road, all right? Let's just leave that alone, okay? But I have a... Oh.
Hello, Moto.
It's Gina. Gina, have you heard about that? Have you watched that show I was talking to you about on Netflix about that woman that shot that girl through the door?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, to be honest, I really don't think too much about it. I don't live down there. I don't care. But it's sad that that woman could build up a case against that woman. So she studied, she looked up the shit about stand your ground laws and everything. She shot the woman through the door. And if she wouldn't have missed, she could have hit the little boy that was next to that woman. That boy walked his mama over there.
Well,
I don't care for her because she should have, that woman should have let those are kids. When you move in that neighborhood, you saw them kids outside playing. You should have been, and you know you don't like kids, you should not have been there. So you don't move in a neighborhood where you don't like kids and it's kids outside playing. She went out there in the yard and got that boy's iPad and brought it in the house.
Well, but it turned out that the kids, remember, it turned out that the kids made a lot of stuff up and he wasn't with the mother.
What kids? What kids made? Yes, he did. He walked the mama over there.
Not according to the ADT security.
So, okay, so the mama went over there by herself.
Which is fine by me, and that's how it should be.
She should have left that boy's stuff alone. First of all, that stuff wasn't even in her yard. It was in the neighbor's yard. The neighbor already said it. The yard don't even belong to this woman. The kids is outside playing. She didn't like kids. You don't move to a neighborhood where you don't like kids.
For sure. If you didn't like cats and you saw a bunch of damn feral cats around, would you want to move in there, Gina?
Nope. Sure wouldn't.
No.
I sure wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that lady now, she already took that lady's life away from. That woman had 4 kids.
Mm-hmm. And now they don't have their mama.
They don't have their mom. They don't have their mother anymore. But she should have hey, I don't like kids. Why am I moving in here? And as far as that bullshit that she said that her best friend was black, where's her best friend at? I want to see. I didn't see the black best friend. I did not see her best friend.
She was in court with her.
Oh, she went to court. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I seen the man up there. I didn't see the other woman. I seen the, As far as the kids trying to steal her truck, we're 11. That little girl said, we are 11. So, yeah, that part was hilarious. But no, it's sad. It's a sad situation. Now she ain't got her life. And now this woman, and now this woman don't have her kids. She's gone. The kids are gone.
Gun safety 101. Do you own a gun, Gina? Well, actually,
I do.
You do? Okay.
I absolutely do.
Well, and we do too, but I'm not going to shoot it through a door. You know why? Because I'm a horrible shot. My ass would get ricocheted and it'd hit me.
Yep. She shot through the door. You don't know who was at the other side of the door. It could have been the police at the other side because they was knocking on her door constantly.
Well, no,
I'd like to say hello to your show because I'm listening to your show.
Yeah, that's right, girlfriend, and that's the reason. Everybody say hello to Gina.
Yeah. It's a YouTube crash. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I don't. I'm sad about that and everything, but at the same time, hey, you got to be careful, And then,
But now you're a grandmother. You're a grandmother. So if somebody constantly had an issue with your grandchildren, would you tell them, leave that woman alone? Don't look at her house. Don't step on her property. Don't do anything.
They weren't bothered, but they weren't even on her property.
I'm not talking about that. I'm doing what's called.
Yeah.
Okay, Gina, this is like something that I learned at Rogers State University. Okay. I'm doing what's called sandwich psychology. I need your help. So if they were your grandkids and you're putting yourself in AJ's shoes, okay, would you tell the kids never go near her property?
Yeah, I would say never. I'll be like, don't go over there. But that wasn't her property. That man already said that was not her property.
No, I'm talking about the property she rented with all the trespassing signs.
Oh yeah, I'll be like, don't go over there, because I want to have to kick. You know me. Mama, don't go over there because I want to have to beat this bitch's ass. Do not go over there. Do not go over there. Stay your ass over here. But the kids, it wasn't just those kids. It was all the kids in the neighborhood played over there before she even got there.
Now, what do you think about all the other people who aren't mentioned in the documentary that were also calling about what the kids were doing? Not AJ's kids, but all the kids. Now, they're not mentioned in the documentary because, well, they're not in jail for manslaughter.
Wait a minute, who else was calling about the kids? I didn't catch anybody else calling.
Well, no, because they didn't put it in the documentary. If you watch the trial, other neighbors were up there saying that they called multiple times.
They called on her or they called on the kids?
The kids.
Okay, so this is my point of view about that. If you're calling on 11-year-old and 10-year-old kids playing outside, there's something seriously wrong with you. They're kids. They need to play. Do you rather them go out and rob your ass at the damn grocery store or carjack your cars or whatever?
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, yeah. Let them kids play. Let them be kids. They can't even be kids anymore. I don't see kids riding their bikes around the neighborhoods anymore. I don't see none of that.
They do around here all the time, and I love it. I'm not going to go out there and talk to them.
Most kids are scared because they're scared they're going to get snatched or something bad going to happen to them. These kids are not playing like they played when we were growing up.
No, hell no. I mean, when the street lights came on, we knew to go home.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. And if
Now
a neighbor...
Like my granddaughter, I noticed she say, like, there's a little boy that comes over and wants to play with her all the time. She be like, I can't come outside. You can go outside. Like, take your eye. You can go outside. She don't want to go outside. She does not want to go outside.
No, kids should be outside. But remember I was telling you about my neighbor across the street? He's 9. He'll be 10 next summer. And he wanted to put that bike ramp in the driveway. And I said, no, you're not doing that.
Don't he have a driveway?
But he wanted another one in his driveway, and they were going to ramp across the street and then come. And I'm like,
no.
He
should just put it on the sidewalk.
I'm like, no. I'm like, you're going to get hurt. And between, Greg and our homeowners insurance, they're not going to be cool with that. And he's like, I promise we'll be careful. I'm like, you, a bunch of Capri Suns, and no helmet. You think you're going to do flips and shit here in my driveway? I said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Let him put it in his shit. They got a yard to go. He could put it on the sidewalk. Let him put them on his shit.
Oh, the kids around here are super cool. But I mean, did I call the police? No.
Nope.
And if his father had come over saying, hey, how come my kid didn't get but his bicycle ramped in your driveway? I wouldn't have shot through the door. I'd have been like, because I didn't want it here.
Right.
There's a right and a wrong
take
way
on
to
that
talk.
woman, when she threw that roller, when them kids left their toys in the yard that wasn't hers, she should have left that shit alone. She'd have been free today.
No, it's actually it was actually in her yard.
It was not in her yard. It was where they played.
Well, then why would she care? Because I mean, it was. I mean,
she went and got it. She went and got that shit and took it to her house.
Oh.
So that's what she should have did. When she threw that roller skate, It was in the yard where they played at. They wasn't playing in her damn patio section right there. They was playing in that yard. The yard. That man said that didn't even belong to her. They were in that field. That boy, they left their toys over there, and she went over there and got that shit and brought it in there. That's why that lady knocked on her door and said, give my son's iPad.
Right.
So she took it upon herself to go out in the yard and pick that shit up. That's, hey. So now I hope she can survive in prison, because that's where she's going to be at, in prison for a minute. And it's not going to be easy for her. I hate to say it. They're going to fuck her up in prison.
Well, she has an appeal hearing in October, not in October, sorry, in 2026, where they're going to introduce the dents in the door that they say that AJ left, and ADT
the
security
dents in the
footage.
door.
Yeah.
How did AJ leave the dents in the door? From kicking on her door or something, or not banging, or what?
Just the banging on the door. I wasn't there, girlfriend. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And they're gonna, they're gonna present the security footage and how, the door frame was broken.
Oh, the door frame was broken, probably from the bullet that went through the door.
That was done from the outside. They've already proven that.
Oh, okay.
But either way, she knew the police were on the way. She'd already called 911 about the altercation she had.
2 minutes, Brooks. It took her 2 minutes to shoot that woman. After she hung up from the police, 2 minutes, they said.
Mm-hmm.
She should have sat her at. That woman wasn't going to come in her house. She should have sat there and wait for the police to get her.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. I'm telling y'all, leave people's kids alone now, because now it's going to be a big deal. Leave people's kids alone. Leave them alone.
Now, as a grandma, if somebody threw a roller skate at one of your grandkids' head, what would you do?
It depends. If it's an adult, yeah, I'm going to go over there and have a conversation with you. I'm not going to bang on your door and knock shit in. And I'm going to have a conversation with you. Be like, what did my child do? I know my grandkids bad as fuck. So I would be like, I know that my probably did something. So, let me, talk to her, and you could have popped her in the head. She could have been in the hospital with a concussion, and you're going to go to jail. But not, I'm not going to go over there and act a fool with no gun. I'm not grabbing my gun or nothing like that. I only grab my gun for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I'm not, I know how to control my emotions anyway.
Yeah,
I know how to control my emotions. I'm good at that.
But if someone threw a roller skate at my kid's head, I'd be pissed.
But the one lady said that she threw the roller skate at her. So I think I sent you the video of the white girl who said all of these are my kids. She said that roller skate was thrown at her, not at the kid. I thought, so that's what I was like, wait a minute, why is this, I don't know. I watched the documentary while I was getting my hair done. So I really wasn't paying to them. I was trying to, do other things too. But I think maybe I got to check it out again, because I could swore the white lady who lived over across from her said she threw the roller skate at her. So I will look at that.
Okay.
But I was like, anybody shooting somebody through the door. If it's a man trying to get into a woman's house, I justify that. Shoot that motherfucker, because you don't know what he's doing. But the neighbor, I don't know. You done called the police. I'm gonna kind of wait for the police as much as I can.
Yeah,
but
if she had actually gotten in the house, if she had actually gotten in the house and confronted her, then the stand your ground law would have worked.
Right. But and then, all that bullshit, she was in the bathroom. I don't believe that shit. Mm-hmm. You sitting in that chair waiting. But that little boy walked his mama over there to that lady's house.
Well, according to the ADT security camera, no. He was standing at the mailbox like 60 feet away.
But he went and got his mother. Because she said, go get your mama.
Now, do you think...
She said, go get your mother. That's what that lady told that little boy to do. go get your mama. And he walked over there. That's why he was so distraught at the funeral and stuff.
Well, I'm guaranteed
that's
he
why
was, and I
Al
feel horrible
Sharpton,
for him. Mhm.
Yeah, Al Sharpton said, don't feel like because you ain't got your mom that it's your fault. That's why, he felt guilty. So yeah, he went and got his mother. She didn't come over there on her own. He went and told his mother.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Now, do you think that the deputies handled this wrong, considering it escalated over 16 months?
No, I don't feel they handled it wrong. I mean, they could have. I don't know. I don't know what they could have done. Every time she called, they showed up. They showed up. Every time she called, they showed up. Now, where I live at, per se hood, you call us one more damn time, you going to jail. That's what they would do with us. Now, I don't know about us, but yeah, they be like, hey, y'all call us out here one more time for this service, somebody going to jail.
Mhm.
But she was an older lady. She was like 58 years old, which is not that old, but, considering my age. She, I think that they did their job. They came out. But for somebody coming out because the kids are screaming and playing outside, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That is bullshit. Excuse me, sir. You need to get out my lane. Thank you. Yeah,
Why are
he's in
you
my
talking
lane.
white all of a sudden?
Because he's in my lane and he in the towel.
Oh,
Got
okay.
a nice ass car. I want to tear up his lane. He on the phone.
Oh, okay.
I can look down and see what he's doing. He's texting on his phone with his phone down low by the steering wheel. So,
But
yeah.
I mean, if someone calls your kid the N-word, I mean, isn't that very egregious?
My kids wouldn't go for that because they know what the fuck they are. We're not all, we not. I've been called the N-word all, pretty much a lot.
Mhm.
But we know what we are. We know our descendants and everything. We got just a little bit. If you look at our family, so my family doesn't. We don't worry about little shit like that.
Well, remember
That's
when
one thing
I
we don't worry
witnessed that, I'm going to go ahead and say racist behavior against you in Floyd, Alabama, and I called you and I barely knew you, and you said that does not apply to me because I took karate and ballet growing up. That applies to other people.
Did I say that? I don't remember that, Brooks, but okay, I probably did say that. That it doesn't apply to me. It doesn't, because it doesn't shake or break me. That's not gonna shake or break me. You called me. I got called a bitch today. Like he said, what did he say? He said the man called me a B, and he was I want to say Arab. He was an Arab because he lives in somewhere. And I was like, I don't even know you. I laughed at it. I started laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? And I just started laughing.
Mm-hmm.
He called me, and I was like, I don't know you. I said, don't talk to me because I don't know you.
Mm-mm.
And that was all that said. I got a lot of patience. Now, I'm a tourist. I'm going to tell you one thing about a tourist.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can push us if y'all want to, but when we do snap, we will snap.
Okay.
You can push it, I tell my boyfriend that all the time. Keep pushing me. I'm gonna snap on you one day, and you ain't gonna like it. He blinks up, and he's good. He blinks up, and he's good. He's like, oh, okay, yeah. I'll be like, I'm gonna let you keep pushing me. Keep pushing me, and I say little stuff, like to hint that I'm off him, but I'm not. I would never do that.
No.
I'll be like, yeah. Remember, we got to go on a cruise coming up.
No, that's right.
Keep playing with
I mean,
me.
by the way, I think some people are confused about who you are. This is Gina. She's one of my very best friends in the whole world. And I would say that she has a year-round tan. How do you want to say it, Gina?
Oh, my skin. Oh, I don't even know who this woman is. First of all, she just randomly just called me. I don't know, since you want to play around, Brooks. I am a black woman. But I have like my great-grandmother is Caucasian, my great-grandfather is Asian, and we have that little hint. So, we know who we are, but I am considered black. If I get pulled over to,
Did you see my show on Friday, the Members Live, about my ancestry that came back?
I didn't see that. What is it?
I'm blacker than you, Gina.
What is your percentage?
No, none. I'm whiter than Wonder Bread. I'm talking stale Wonder Bread.
Oh, okay. So we have, okay, yeah, my cousin did ours, and, we told her not to, but she did it anyway, Yeah, my great-grandmother is a Caucasian, and
Move, OJ.
my
Pat
great-grandfather
fucked me on
is
that.
African-American on my mom's side, and on my dad's side, my grandmother's husband was Asian, so it's really, I mean, it's just a big melting pot. So
Well, I mean, thanks to
I don't
Pat.
mind if you call me. Yeah, if you don't call me.
No, thanks to Pat, I'm like one step away from being a damn albino. Okay.
Yeah, because we were doing. Hey, are we Indian? We don't have any Indian Native. Well, I shouldn't say that, Native American in us.
No, Pat
weird.
fucked me on that deal. I don't get any free car tags or anything, but that's on Pat's conscience, not mine. All right, Gina, well, I'm going to wrap the show up. Everybody give my BFF a round of applause. Okay, I absolutely love Gina. We have so much fun together. You have no idea how hilarious she is. My goodness. And when I have my meltdowns, you don't ever want to talk to Gina about anything when you're having white people problems. And that's all I'm going to say. So, do you guys have time to lighten the mood and watch something off topic? Anyone? 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 Anytime the news or whatever's going on gets me going, I have a certain playlist, okay? Things that I can't control, things that I can't command, things that I can't do anything about. I do something called switch the channel. And one of my favorite things to do is watch old reruns of I Love Lucy. Hilarious. Okay. Now we do a lot of off topics on here just to cool the mood. Cool the mood. Okay. But I want to say thank you to everyone for being here. I know this is a hot topic. I know there's an appeal coming up. I know it's politically and racially charged. It's all going to be okay. And at the end of the day, we're still friends and we can agree to disagree. Correct? Now, if anyone has a problem and they need to discuss something, we have what I call a customer service department. Mallory, do you want to come up? She said, Brooks, I have a question. What's your question, baby? Oh, Mallory wants to know if she can renew her membership even if I'm not live. Absolutely. You can do whatever. I don't have to be live for you to do it. Don't worry about it. But I want to give a special shout out today to Debbie 1220, who became a new YouTube member. Poppy Red Mustang, who said, I'm new but loving it. 11 months isn't exactly new, but so glad you're here. Angel on Earth, I love it here. Nufflin, who called Pat a hoe. Family by choice. Of course, we have the best mods on the nasty YouTube streets. And I want to give a special shout out to Rexy, V. Oakley, and True Crime Beat, who live in the state of Fuckloria, Florida, and did not grab the link to come up and save my ass. I will talk to your asses later. I love you very much. I'll see you in Discord.